Okay. Oh, build your probe first, then send your guys. It's easier because then you just have your, when you spawn, you just have your mouse over. You just click, press E, drag, boom, and then it's the most efficient way you can do that. Because then you can get your probes out the second they possibly can. Like, let's see what the math is for you. 6 seconds, 19 in. Yeah, you can build you can have your second probe building at 17 seconds. You have it building in 19 seconds. That's a really small thing, but that's the fastest way to do that. So, okay, no 6 pool, good. Alright, so now let's just see your build order. 9. You send it forward at the right time. Good. So let's continue going forward. Oh, his name's Waka Waka. That's kind of cool. Alright, so you have this here. Chrono boost immediately. Good, good. Do you do a 12? It looks like you should do a... Okay, do, let's see. I'm gonna see if you had constant pro production during the building of that. Because that's... Yeah, okay, look, you halted to build... You halted building probes here. You should not. You should get like a 13, sometimes maybe even a 14 gate to get your economy up. So then you can have constant pro production because you really need that against Zerg, especially unless you're gonna do something like a 4 gate, in which case then a 12 gate is fine. But if you're not 4 gating or something like that, you're gonna want to get out the more economic 13 gate, and with constant pro production, constant chrono boosted pro production. So you need chrono here. Because you want to chrono boost probes as much as possible when you go for economy. Because notice how your chrono is not doing anything right now. You got your summer though at the right time. You keep constant probe production. I'm actually going to just keep this nexus selected and make sure that you're constantly producing probes. And you're still not producing probes. Yeah, that's another halt. That's bad. There's your cybernetics core. Good. You're going to want to get out a zealot soon. Notice also, okay, at this point in time, you have 79 energy on your nexus. You could have, let's see, it takes 17 seconds to build a probe, 10 seconds per chrono boost. You could have an additional 3 probes or something, or whatever the math is. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that wrong, but an additional 3 probes right now with the way you are with this chrono boost. It's 30 seconds. No, additional 2 probes. Additional 2 probes right now, so you could literally have a full 18 probes right now, and you'd be in a better economic spot. You're gonna need to get your zealot right now for building this wall, for finishing the wall, because you always need that zealot against Zerg, always a zealot. So you're running around, you've seen nothing crazy. There's a spawning pool, there's the extractor. No reason to suspect anything is really, really horrible. Okay, so there's your simulator. You're gonna want it sooner before Cybernetics core completes. Getting out the zealot now, it's a little late. Also, you gotta rally right to there. That'll help you a lot. Looks like you killed the drone. I didn't see how you killed the drone, but if you pulled probes, don't bother. You can always use sentry, because you need a sentry right now. When you 1-gate expand against a Zerg, you're gonna chrono boost out the sentries. Look, now you're chrono boost out the probes. If you had that before, you'd have more minerals than you would have had right now. So here you're throwing down your expansion, which is good, but you need to be chrono boosting out the sentries. You are so riskily expanding right now. Because when I 1-gate expand against Zerg, what I do is I do essentially what you're doing with the few things that I said the blah blah could be better. Except that I have my gateway right here, of the zealot here. When I have my first zealot and the first sentry out, because I built them really secondary after each other, so they're as quickly as possible out there, and then I just scout around here and make sure that nothing is there. Then I plop down my nexus. So right now it's running around with these Zerglings. You have the sentry here, good. But he knows you're doing this now. If you had done it before, you'd be hiding your plans. So there's your 1-gate expo, then's your other gateways, good. What you want to do when you 1-gate expo as well is have another pylon up front, and then you build your next gateways for your wall. Especially on this map, you can do that very easily. And if you can, force field that off so that the links don't get in here and kill probes. Oh god, do not send your probes all the way out there. But here you are. It looks like you're going to do a 6-gate or a 5-gate or something. Yeah, he's taking out. Those probes should not have died. If you get your Forge out, I want to see the fast +1. You have a huge amount of money in the bank, a lot of for gas. Okay, you see all that gas, that 800 gas? You could have an additional 6 sentries right now. Can you imagine how much more powerful you would be if you had an additional 6 sentries? That's the power of chrono boosting out certain things. That's why you spend your first couple on the probes, and then after that you chrono boost straight up sentry production with ignoring the warp gate, to be honest. And then you have a huge sentry force, and then around the 8-minute mark you can push out with these guys plus 7 or 8, and in this case 8 sentries, and do a lot of threatening. And you remember that the game I did against Error, that first one on Antigua Shipyard, where I had the endless force field and killed off his Expo and had a really easy win afterwards, you could have that situation. I did a very similar push in that case to what you would have with the 1-gate Expo, even though I did a 3-gate Expo. There's not too much difference in terms of that. It's just the fact that you get out a Nexus sooner with the 1-gate Expo. So that's the kind of position you could be in which case on this map, that means you'd be running up here. He has 1 spine crawler, he has only drones. His army consists of 2 lings. You would be here endlessly force fielding this ramp, and then you can't move in with any of the guys from his main. His Evo chamber is not even it's not a Roach Warren. I think there's a Roach Warren and an Evo chamber here. So he's really preparing to go for mass late game stuff. You can move in with a not even remotely close to an all-in push, endlessly force field, and take out this entire base, all of these drones, and be in a much better spot. You he might have this Expo up, but then hey, you then just while you retreat, 1 force field down here, move down here, 2 force fields, can't reinforce. You pull back, send a probe or something here, and then if you want, you can bring your entire army down there once you see this base, endlessly force field those guys, kill it off. And if you have hallucination, you hallucinate Phoenix, scout this base, and you're like, oh hey, another free target, and then you could take that down. So that's a really important part of the 1-gate expand, is doing a little bit of a push. But if you scout that there's a ton of lings and everything that are out there, and then you don't push out, because then you'll get caught off guard, you'll lose a sentry force, and you'll possibly lose a game because of that. Which is one of the reasons why I emphasize hallucinate, so you can scout that out, and if you see lots of speedlings, you just push out to about here or something, and then you pull back, keep an eye on your army the entire time to make sure that that you don't get surrounded by lings, which means just going back here in macro and staring at the minimap, so you can be as aware as possible in that scenario. Alright, so now let's see this. You're going to get your 3rd and 4th gases. At this point, you really only need 3 at the most. You don't really have enough to actually utilize all 4 gases. But you see, once again, look, you're bringing the sentries now. Have them sooner, and you'd be fine. You could be working on Robotech. You could be working on a lot more things. You're getting out the +1. That's great. You're now throwing down additional 3 gateways. Where's your Twilight Council? Where's your Robo? Where's your other higher tech? Because you're getting to the same points I'm talking about, you're just doing it later than you could, which is harming your efficiency, which means you're really not in as good a spot you could be. This guy also has a huge amount of map presence. Look at all these overlords flying around. You can snipe those off, just get out a couple stalkers, and you are fine. His entire army, once again, consists of 4 lings. It does not hurt you to take your entire army. Why are you force fielding that? What did you see to cause you to force field there? Okay. Because I literally don't think you saw anything new. So what are you doing when you do that? You're supply blocked, you're there, and then you just... There's no reason to spend that. It's 150 energy that is now gone? Did you do that because of the supply block? That I'm kind of confused about. Also hit more buttons. Yeah, okay, so that was a little odd. Okay, so now you have a nice Zealot Sentry Forces, great against Lings. The problem is he's going a lot of Roaches. If you're going to go Zealot Sentry against Roaches, you have got to have charge and upgrades. Attack upgrades would be so key in the scenario. I want to refer you to Ranged. Ranged is a very interesting Zealot-heavy PvZ style that I think would be really relevant to you. I can try and pull up something and help you out there as well if you want to see some great games. Because Range is a grandmaster on multiple servers, Protoss, and he has a lot of stuff with Zealots. So now okay. So now you have this huge force coming in. They have the 1-1. You just have an inferior army unless you have perfect force fields. That could be the difference maker. So now you see these guys, and you got a nice concave units here. You have to be careful with these Zealots, though. This snare. Okay, before I even look at the battle right now, I'm going to check that. Okay, let's just say he attack moves into your base right now. You force field behind. You do 2 or 3 force fields behind here to kill those Roaches, and you have all these Zealots hitting the front 3 or 4 Roaches that get caught, and then you're going to have these Zealots just dancing around, getting hit, the force fields hurting them, and these Roaches killing them, and then moving in and possibly taking out this army, depending on how you control it. you do have yeah, it's 26 roaches that are there. You do have enough stalkers and sentries to take care of it, even without the zealots. So if you do force field here, I'm really hoping you're going to pull back the zealots and just use the range guys that will not take damage from those roaches that are being caught down there. You can then even force field more around here, locking them into a tiny little thing, allowing you to really range attack them to death. So let's see if that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm hoping. Also be careful. I see you building multiple piles at once. You got to build them in advance so you don't get supply blocked. Speaking of supply block, this guy's supply block. He's getting a lot of hydras. Yikes. Okay, that is a big danger. This is why you want to go for, if you're going pure gateways, you need Templar, you need Archons, you need those guys. Alright, so here we are. He's going to push in, and there are the force fields. Okay. Those are great force field placements. You could have done that with 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have almost double what you need, so just try and place as minimal guys as you want. Where is the Guardian Shield for your sentries? You're going to need that if you're going to be able to really take less damage and continue keeping your guys alive. This is similar to what I was talking about before with the Zealots. You can see how that actually works in, and now you have this entire concave down here, and that's actually really, really good. And you can see how he's having trouble attacking everything, and you could have just done 2 force fields there to trap all those roaches in, and then take out his entire army, and that would have helped you out so much. Also, we're at the 15-minute mark and you don't have a third. If you're not sure when to expand against Zerg in this situation, just say the 12 or 13-minute mark, you're going to take either this base or this base. I've seen a lot of people go for this base, but it's really personal preference. Something to do with this base is you can actually wall off this little choke with like a gateway, and then some cannons. And that can help you out a lot, but against roaches, it's not the best. Against roaches, you may want to take this one and then have a good SimCity over this ramp. It depends really on your personal preferences. That's either one of these is good for a third. Your Chrono Boost is full. You have a Templar Archives without reaching Storm, and you have 1,000 gas and 600 minerals. Templar Archives, research Psionic Storm, plop down a bunch of Zealots, not Zealots, I plop down a bunch of High Templar, and Chrono Boost the hell out of that Psystorm. Get it out ASAP. You have a Twilight Council and a Forge, use them. Attack upgrades are key right now. You have a Twilight Council, let's see, you have a lot of Stalkers. Okay, get Blink, because you can utilize the Blink very efficiently. You do not have a lot of Zealots, so don't get the charge. Unless you're planning on doing some crazy Zealot shenanigans, do not get charge. Zealot drops are great in the mineral line. If you want to get charged for that, that's perfectly worth it. But right now, you have a 3-base Zerg that's doing a very good job of macroing with 51 drones. You also only have 38 probes. I know you've lost 11, but you should have like 70 probes right now. You're literally at half the probes you should have. So right now, the big issue that I'm seeing is actually not having to do with expansioning, is the fact that you're just not producing off your 2 bases as optimally as you should. A 3-base Zerg against 2-base Protoss in general, this is purely an observational thing over a lot of games and everything, but Zerg units are weaker than Protoss. You have force fields and you've kept your sentry count alive. In this scenario, 99% of the time, Protoss would have an advantage because their economy is not as good, but pretty much on par considering the units that Protoss has against Zerg. So Zerg could be having a better economy, but you can just roll over him with a great army. Max army in this scenario against 3-base Zerg, it's going to be hard for Zerg to deal with. Especially if you have upgrades like Blink, and if you have +3 attack upgrades, oh, it can get dicey. But right now, your income is 1,040. It could easily be more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if you had full saturation. You could be having a 1,500 minerals, 1,600 mineral thing, because you have about 800 income mineral-wise from 1 base. So if you could literally be having an additional 500 minerals a minute. And that's massively huge. If you had that this entire time, your food counts would be even. So he's got the +1/+1, which is equal to you, so that's fine. But let's continue watching it and see what's happening. Oh, great. Look, now you're getting Sidestorm, and you're Chrome boosting it. Good, and that makes me happy. And there's you getting Dutch Templar. Good, good, good. So that's actually kind of ridiculous time. If I just paused that a second later, that would have been a completely different thing that I said. But still, and you're using the Forge upgrades. Good, good, good. This is awesome. Just make it sooner. This is really good. Just make it sooner. Still no probes though. Now you're getting a bunch of Zealots. That's gonna be good against those Lings, but they're gonna go ahead and hit you in a really bad spot. We've got all of these guys moving a good job. Where are the force fields? Okay, in that battle. Okay, I wanna. If you're gonna commit to that battle, let's see if I can get to a good pausing spot. Okay, right here. This is a really key spot. You have, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18, 22, 26 force fields. So you have 26 force fields at your disposal right now. The army's right here. Force field, force field, force field, force field, force field, force field. There. These guys aren't attacking. These guys are trapped. With these guys probably not attacking. You only have to deal with, we'll just say, those units. Those 16 units against your 18 Stalkers and 9 Sentries. That's a battle you would easily win. Plus you have the Guardian Shields, and in, oh, well, that's not going to be worth for the battle, but in 25 seconds you're going to be having Psystorm anyway. Second Psystorm is there, you've won. Another option in this situation would be to just force with Force Field, step back. Oh, also, Snipe is Overlord, because that's giving vision to these guys. That's what's allowing them to attack you. So if you just double-click, right-click, done. These guys are now dancing around, going to only way to kill your High Templar because they're just going to walk forward because you're on attack move, probably around here or something. So you got to pull your High Templar back. I think, if I'm right, you actually don't have them hockeyed at all. So it looks like you just boxed everything and A moved. Bad because your High Templar don't attack, so you just keep on going forward, and now these guys are dancing around in the back, not doing anything. We'll just kill your High Templar, and then no Psystorms for you. So let's continue looking around. Psystorm close to being done. Also, you got to scout because right now this 4th is going up and you're on 2 bases. This is a situation that you do not want as Protoss. You do not want to have your Zerg opponent doubling your base. Your base count, that is. So he's getting Infestation, he's getting Hive Tech, and you're at 16 minutes still on 2 bases. Total 13 minutes, expand, generally. So let's see what happens after this. You're going to move forward, and there's your High Templar dying. There's some good force fields. That's some very nice force fielding, and 3 there is perfectly fine to make sure that you actually lock those guys in. But now, if you see here, he's getting Overseer. Now he's got the +2 attack. Your +2 attack is not finished yet. Now you're getting more Templar, but instead of now having immediate Psystorms available, you have to wait for these guys to get their energy. And that's going to hurt you. But now more forces. Where are those force fields? Nice, good force fields. Guardian Shields are going to be really important right now because Hydras are incredibly good against almost all, really all gateway units, except Charge Lots when they're in there. And there's a Psystorm. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, but you took a lot of unnecessary losses because your force fields just aren't there. You now have no Sentries. You're at 61 food against a Zerg opponent who has double your food and double your bases because this is now up. This is not the ideal scenario. And honestly, I can easily just not watch this rest of the replay because we've already established why it looks like you're going to be losing. Once again, probes are so key. Let's just continue watching and see what happens. Okay, so now running around here, you have all those roaches. Yeah, they're there with a 2-1. Layers there, Infestation Pig, again, Pathogen Glands, and he's building 5 Infestors. Actually, you may not be Zerg, but I'm going to note that if you're getting Pathogen Glands, wait for it to be 30 seconds completed, 30 seconds through, being completed, then build the Infestors so they pop out with 75 energy. Just a side note. So now we have all of these Zealots, but if you're going to have Zealots, you get Charge. If you're going to have Stalkers, you get Blink. Get both, just in case one comes in handy if it immediately switch to going Zealot Archon or something. As that's your most cost-effective army composition you have. Zealot, Archon, High Templar. So now you're having... But, okay, notice also, your 2 base, with inferior economy, you're still back up to 112 with very little time. And he's at 174. The differences in your food count are not bad considering the base count. You just need more bases and more economy, and then you would roll over this guy. And now you're pushing out, but you don't have Charge. Now you have High Templar here. Let's look at your Storms, look at your Battle Micro. And now there's going to be moving in. There is a Storm that's now hurting you more than everything else, but now you can see why you need Charge, because these Zealots are doing almost nothing. Nice Storms, very nice Storms. You have all your Stalkers there. Morph into Archon if you don't have enough energy to continue everything else. That would really help you out if you did that. And now you're not moving back. In this case, you do not want all these back roaches to be attacking you. In this case, you kite your Stalkers. You go right-click attack, right-click attack, right-click attack, and you guys keep going forward, and then only the front roaches will ever be able to attack you, increasing your efficiency tenfold. Now you're pure Stalker, but you have no blink. If you're going pure Stalker versus pure Roach, Stalkers will win every single time if you have blink. If you're even on upgrades, if you have blink, you'll win every single time. There's no reason for you to ever lose a Stalker in that case. But he's got better upgrades, or equivalent upgrades, and he's got Infestor support, which is why you need Templar, you can feedback, Sidestorm, and all that stuff. But you need blink in this scenario. You really, really, really do. And so now he's going to move in with a very red army. A couple of Sidestorms here, that'd be great. Also, a great transition to do, after you got Templar and everything, is to also throw in Colossi, because Colossi are so good always. And now you can get endlessly fungled, and now you're going to be in frustration, and you'll leave. Please, GG. There's no reason to be mean on the internet. A lot of people do. That bugs the hell out of me when people don't say GG, because there's no reason not to. It's simple to type 2 Gs and leave the game. This is a macro game. It was a legitimate loss. Please, I hate bad manner. Just GG, please. Thank you. So, that is a good thing. Let's see if you have any questions. You new to stream? Hey, Error. What's up? I am. Watched the stream for ages. Yep, Renegade is an awesome person. So, let's see if you have questions. And then that will determine what's going on. Anyone? Okay. I really hope you're not saying that you seem like shit, because that's not true. You're learning the game, and that's perfectly fine. There are a lot of good things. Like you know the general basic things to do. You're getting high Templar with getting Sidestorm. You've got the force fields. You've got the Stalkers. You're handling things well. You just need to increase the economy aspect of the game, and then you're fine. That's fine. Feeling uneasy is okay. That's okay. Just think, okay, 12 minutes in. Expo time. Criticize your play, Renegade? Alright, so send me a replay and I'll do that. Okay, and yeah, so keep doing that every game until you begin to realize, oh wait, I can't, or hey, I can get it sooner. Okay. But for now, just literally every single game 12 minutes in Expo. I'm talking PvZ, by the way. It could be different in PvT. But still, I will GG. Thank you.